Again, oh, aloha, everyone. Welcome to the live launch of the Oʻahu Immigrant Youth Digital Storytelling Collection. As you can tell, we have many of us online right now, and we have multiple families and students and the storytellers and just community members also gather at the Oʻahu high school cafeteria right now, as you can see. So welcome again. Before we just jump into everything today, all the incredible things that's going to happen, I just want to ensure a couple of things for us to just come into agreement, especially that we're doing this online and in person. So for us who are online, if you do have any technical issues and concerns, we have Aaliyah Hannah from Green Card Voices who's going to support us in the group chat as well, just any technical accessibility that you may need. And so anytime you need support, type it in the group chat or even just unmute yourself. So feel free to do that. For those who are joining in person, again, this is really a great chance for you to meet someone new or even just reconnect with someone you haven't seen in a long time. This is what these events are really for. I hope you can get the chance to do that today. And just to help us cut down some background noise, if you can just unmute yourself, which all of you fabulously have been doing already, just continue to mute yourself unless you are talking, okay? And keep your video on, okay? We want to make sure we feel like everyone's in this space together. If it feels really good for you and comfortable to do so, we'll love you to do that. Otherwise, continue to utilize nonverbal interactions that can be using some of the reactions icon on your little platform online. So that could be like clapping hands, right? Because we may not hear, for those in person, they may not hear our class, but we can see us here celebrating them with our nonverbal cues. So use that as well. And then for those who just want to follow along with some closed captioning, there is that option too as well. So you can go down and you can do that in your monitor and switch that up as well. And most importantly, we love to just keep this space safe and a brave moment, not just the storytellers, but literally for all of us. And so let's keep these agreements in just the back of your mind as we continue through today's incredible live launch. So can we get some thumbs up, some hearts, some agreement? Okay, wonderful. I see some. Great. I hope those in person's like, yes, I got you to your next door person, right? Wonderful. So here's what's going to happen today for those who is like, what did I sign up for? What's happening? When are the students speaking? Here it is. We just did a little welcoming, and then we're going to jump into talking a little bit more about the process and how everything came about. And then you'll get the chance to hear from each of the partners and the contributors who made this all possible. And then really the highlight of this event is our storytellers. They're each going to come up and have a moment to just share a little bit who they are and read from their essay. And then we'll do a little short award and then say our goodbyes with a group photo together. All right. So that is today's little event that we have for you all. And so for those who don't know me, my name is Julie Vang, and I am the program manager with Green Card Voices, nonprofit based out here in Minnesota. But I also help manage this program through the recording with the storytellers to working with the teachers and ensuring that all the videos comes to life with this collection. So that is who I am and really my role in this whole entire project. And this is why we're all here, why we're all gathered here. It's because the power of local story is what brought us here. And the important thing that distinguishes our story, the storytelling collection from any other collection is that these stories, it's not about them, it's by them. So these are first-person authentic stories by the storyteller. You get to hear them, their words, every nuances that come through, the complexity of their experiences and the unique journey. This is by them. And by doing this, it allows the students to control and shape their story. So they become self-advocate. They themselves self-advocate for themselves. And from there, it gives them an opportunity to speak to others and share their experiences, not just the challenges, right, as an immigrant, but also the hopes and the dreams and the beauties, all the wonderful things that also comes into not just being an immigrant, but as a person. Through these stories, we're highlighting underrepresented populations that are often sidelined and misunderstood and often silenced. So this is really a platform for them this is a platform where we get the chance for them to amplify and center them. And for educators in this space, because we see a whole bunch of you in here, as you continue to share students with your stories with your students, one of the beautiful things is that you get to also connect with not just them themselves, but extension of them, which is their families and their hobbies and things that they love outside of the classrooms. And the power of local stories, and literally at the end of it, it just brings open conversation and it welcomes communities like us together in spaces that we would never imagine, but here we are. We're doing what's impossible, and here we are. And that builds empathy. It gives a healing space and acceptance. And so now I'm going to pass it to my colleague who's going to really touch base about the whole process and where it all stemmed from.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Thea Rosman, and I'm the co-director of Green Card Voices. I'm also the co-founder. Organization has been around for 11 years, and we use storytelling to amplify the stories. And I'm going to first share a little bit about the partnership that we created to make this happen. So it was a 4-part partnership between Green Card Voices, the nonprofit organization, the 2 high schools, Pearl City and Waipahu High School, as well as HPU University. We also had the great honor to partner with Hawaii Department of Education and also made sure that the community group, Chuukese and Marshallese community that were part of Waipahu Safe Haven were involved in the process and are really, really grateful that they welcomed us and we're excited about the project. So a few words about the organization called Green Card Voices. We were created because we really believe in connecting immigrants and migrants and their communities through multimedia storytelling, whether it be digital stories, books, exhibits, podcasts, conversation, card game, story stitch, and trainings. And as mentioned before, we've been around for 11 years and have traveled to many different states around the United States and have recorded around 500 stories of people coming from 145 countries. And we share these stories through 15 published books. Our website, all the stories are published online. We also create traveling exhibits that travel to high schools, libraries, community groups. The website, like I said, is searchable, so you can look for country of origin, state where people live now, what kind of profession they do. We also have a YouTube channel that's for educational purposes only, and podcast and curriculum. And I will now pass it to a representative of Hawaii Department of Education that made this project possible. Greg, are you there?
Looks like they are here and
Yes,
in person, so we'll give it a moment.
we can talk into that platform. Hello, everybody. Aloha. My name is Gregory Chishiba. I'm the district ed specialist for the Leeward District for the English Learner Program, also multilingual program. I come into the space, my ancestors immigrated to California 3 generations ago. I myself was born and raised there, and I moved here 20 years ago but we do have some relatives here in Hawaii too that settled as well. I want to thank everybody for this collective effort, for your tireless, endless hard work. I want to thank the parents, the elders, the guardians, for supporting your children and making this project a success. Thank you, Dr. Kirschman, and your students, and the high school teachers, Mr. Brown, Mrs. Murakami, Mrs. Ron, Mrs. Mayashiro, and Mrs. Ayin. Thank you for your passion and all your hard work. And thank you, Green Card Voices, for pulling this off and collectively putting all these efforts together. And finally, thank you, students, for your bravery, for your courage, for your generosity in sharing your stories and your voices. Yes, your voices. Your voices are so important. Your voices are real stories by real human beings, which are not often found in textbooks. Your voices help pave the way for others and reassure them that others have gone before them. And it is our hope your voice will travel on to other educators and officials so that they may know more about you and the great nations that you come from. My closing thoughts to you, students, if you don't remember anything I just said, please remember this. Be proud of your home language and culture. Each is an important part of you and who you are today and who you will be tomorrow. And yes, I am sure your ancestors are smiling upon you today. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Greg. I'm getting chill, just like everything, right? Everything that was shared. I know that the Wapahu high school teachers are coming up. Give a moment as they transitioned.
Julie, do you see in the chat? We are wondering if we can turn the video view so we can see the speakers. Oh, okay. So instead of the slide, when the speakers are speaking, if we can do the video view.
Hi, Julie Tay, can you hear me? Okay. I think the other Waipahu teachers are pretty busy right now running the popcorn machine in the back of the cafeteria, so I'm going to speak on their behalf. And I'd, of course, like to follow what Greg said about thank you to all the families for showing up today and sharing your students' stories with us for this project. And I'd just like to take a minute to speak directly to the students and look around at the room, all the people who showed up today to hear your stories, all the people who are joining online to hear your stories too.
So I want you to leave tonight, thinking that your stories matter and your voices matter and people want to, you're important, your experiences are important and they're worth sharing and your voices are important, like Mr. Uchishiba said too. And I also like to thank everyone at Green Card Voices for your help making this project a reality, and everyone at the DOE and Pearl City High School and my colleagues at Oʻahu High School for coming together to make this happen. And I'm sorry my video was off for that. Thank you students. You guys were amazing. You're very brave and courageous sharing these stories. And this is just the first start. These stories are going to ripple out and touch a lot of people and have a big impact. I personally can't wait for other teachers to hear your stories, to put a face to like the students in their classrooms and their backgrounds. So thank you again, students, for sharing your stories. They truly are a gift to our schools, our community, and our state. And I'll pass it over to Kalika. Do you want to come up and say a few words? This is Miss Kalika Ayan. She's a Pearl City High School Art EL coordinator and teacher. Let's give her a round of applause. That's it.
Hi, everyone. It's great to see you here too. I love seeing all of the faces that are here in person and to see how many people have joined us online. It's just encouraging because I know the students who have participated in the Green Card Voices project have put their heart and their soul into their videos and into their essays. And so I'm just so grateful to see all of the support that we have that is right here in this room and right here on our Zoom room as well. So students, I'm so proud of you. I can't really say anything brand new that Mr. Uchishida or Mr. Brown didn't already say, but I am so proud of the work that you have done and the bravery that you have shown in just showing the world your stories. And today we'll get to hear just a snippet of that, but I hope that you can take the story that has now, will be published tonight and just continue to share it with your family and with your community. So that your story can be out there in the world as an inspiration for another student in the future. So students, thank you so much. Parents and families who are here, your student has done something incredible and we're so glad that you could be here to support them as well. Thank you.
Back to you, Julie.
Great. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. All the teachers are everything that they do to the students here. It truly, there's so much dedications and so much heart that goes into it. And so thank you so much to all the teachers in Oʻahu High School and Pearl City High School. Now we're just going to pass it over to one of our other partners at the Hawaii Pacific University, Jean. So we'll pass it on to her.
So you talk into this, and we can talk into that. We can talk into that and stuff. Okay, yeah, that'll be good.
Sound check. Okay. Okay. All right. 50 years ago, during the summer, 50 years ago this summer, I took a long airplane ride in reverse from the rides that most of you described in your stories. My trip began in Bismarck, North Dakota, and then with stops in Denver, San Francisco, Hawaii, Kwajalein, Chuuk, Pohnpei, Chuuk, and Guam before I reached my destination on the island of Yap, where I spent the first 4 years of my career, 2 years as a Peace Corps volunteer, and then 2 more years working for the Department of Education there. Who knew that 50 years later, I would have a chance to help my students, current students at HPU, connect to the people and places that I've just named. Over the first 10 years of my teaching career, I was able to go back to Chuuk, Pohnpei, Majuro, all the islands I named, in addition to Saipan, Palau, and eventually the Philippines, to teach workshops, meet colleagues. And so I have been to many of the islands that we are learning about tonight and we'll read about in your finished and published work. Such a privilege. And now it's my great honor to have been able to recruit or partner with Green Card Voices to help introduce my current students to all of your cultures and languages too. So HPU has a TESOL program teaching English to speakers of other languages, and 9 of our students worked with the high school writers to transcribe their stories, embellish them, edit them, and polish them so that what you read soon will have been through the writing process from oral story to written and polished prose. 2 of them are here tonight, I think. Eric is in the back. You can see Eric. He's one of my coaches. And online, Kylie Asuncion, I hope you know, she was a graduate of Waipahu High School, and now she is about to finish her TESOL degree at HPU. So I want to say thank you to all of them, even though they're not all here, and to let you know that they have learned a lot and put in a lot to enjoy and help and finish this project. So we're delighted to be here. Thank you, as everyone before me has said, to all the various partners here tonight.
Oh my goodness. Okay, can I go? All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Angelica Taralba Olagi. I'm the teacher liaison for Green Card Voices. I'm also a full-time high school teacher and an adjunct professor for Minnesota state colleges and universities. I'm very excited to have been part of Oʻahu's Youth Digital Storytelling Project. This project is super special to me. A little bit about me, because I wasn't really, you didn't see me in April, and I wanna just share a little bit about me. I was born in Baguio, Philippines. I immigrated to the United States when I was 6 years old, and I didn't realize I was undocumented until I was about 9 years old when my father passed away. And I grew up not being able to tell my story, not being able to tell about my journey to the United States and my experiences coming of age as a Filipina American in Minnesota. So this passion to want to talk about my journey really led me to become a teacher for multilingual students. I'm also an ethnic studies teacher because I wanted to inspire students to strengthen their identity and sustain their languages and their culture. So several years ago, as an EL teacher, working with new to country students who recently arrived to Minneapolis, Minnesota, I was actually able to help my students publish their stories in a book called Immigrant Stories, Memories of Home and Dreams of Our Future. And this project that I just individually self-published, with a classroom full of my students, led me to my relationship with Green Card Voices. So in the last 2 years, when my high school that I work at welcomed many Afghan students, Green Card Voices asked me, hey, would you like to inspire students to write their stories in a book? Which is now entitled My City Was a Sparkling Jewel, Voices of Newcomer Youth from Afghanistan. And that was published last year. And I absolutely love that project, being able to work with my Afghan students. And they asked me again to, hey, do you want to work on the Oʻahu digital storytelling project? I said, yes. So this led me to create a model lesson plan for the Oʻahu teachers to inspire their students to prepare for your recording date. But they already did this with their previous students in their own book, Rising from Our Roots, in 2022, as I did with my own students, highlighting this power of storytelling as universal and the need to share it with others and create a sense of belonging. So I was very fortunate to have a site visit and met Ms. Kalika's class in Pearl City High School and Mr. Brown and his colleagues at Waipahu High School. And to me, this is completely full circle. Close to 20 years ago, I was a student at University of Hawaii, Manoa. I was volunteering at Waipahu Community Center when they recently opened there. And I wanted to get in touch with my Filipino roots and culture that have been lost growing up in the Midwest of Minnesota. I also volunteered with the Micronesian youth while I was a student there, learning about the new migrants on the island. And during the site visit, just feeling the power and the presence of the students that were in the school and in the building, and meeting some of the teachers who were involved in the project, in a very special place in my heart, right? That helped me strengthen my Filipino identity. Again, this project has come real full circle for me. And I'm just so proud of every single one of you students who had the courage to share your stories, share your journey here in Oʻahu, and some of the hardships and also joy, right? Things that I was never able to share when I was younger. And for you to have this opportunity, how special is that? And this is just the beginning. Your stories will inspire others in your family, your peers, in your homeland, on Oʻahu, and in your community, and keep passing it on to others. And I want to thank the teachers who were involved, the partners, and of course, our Green Card Voices staff. So congratulations, everyone, particularly the students, and to the parents who are there, or guardians, support people that are with your youth today. Thank you. Thank you for your support in having them tell their stories, because this is going to be powerful and will last for a very long time. So congratulations, everyone.
How powerful was that? Oh my goodness. The stories continue to be so powerful because of the impact of all of these teachers who continues to be a vehicle of change for them. And the process wouldn't have been possible without each of the partners who were involved, who literally all just spoke today. It would not be possible without them. And how it all truly began was we did site visits, and everything was all virtual, right? Because we were based in Minneapolis. One second. We were based in Minneapolis, and then we did lots of site visits, and then eventually went to do some training to prepare the teachers virtual as well as the university partners. And then we move on to do some student preparation. The teachers themselves, once they have all the materials, they went on and did the preparation with their students in person. And then we did some recording and some photography, which also I'll show some photos because these photos are just so precious. And then after the recording and photographs, then this is where the Hawaii Pacific University students really were essential in this, where they came in and worked on the transcriptions of these videos. And then our videographer was able to use some of those transcription to create their video, which is like gonna be live, and you'll hear a little bit of a little sneak peek of it today. And then here we are with the live launch. So that's really how the whole process came about and came upon. So let me just share my screen one more time to just share some of those experiences. So here are just some photos, right? Trainings with our teachers and university partner that literally happened in February of this year. And then we had such a precious moment with our Chuukese and Marshallese community members here as well. Such a warm welcome that they have offered us into their space and their community. And then behind the scenes, here are photos of behind the scene of the recording with each of the students here. And then we did some photographs right after their recording. And then with the university students and the high school students and our teachers. And so that is our partners and our process and how everything, again, came in full circle. And with a deep breath, all right, this is the highlight of today's event is now we get to hear from each of our storytellers. So I'm gonna pass it on to Jeremiah to introduce them, and they're gonna come into the space.
Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, we're gonna hear from each of the students who's here with us today. We're gonna watch a short clip from their video. And if you stick around after the event, we'll play the whole video for everybody who's here and we'll have some food. So stick around for that afterwards. So our first student coming up is Adrian Bantolina. Adrian, come on up. Let's give Adrian a round of applause. And we're gonna play Adrian's clip here.
For first, we were in my island, Oriental Mindoro. We wake up at like 4 to go to the pier to catch the boat. Before we go there, we ride the van. After we got to Manila, we drive the van to come to my auntie's house. We went there for like 2 to 3 days. Then we went to the airport. Then
My name is Adrian Bantolina. I was born in Oriental Mindoro, Philippines. When I was told I was moving to the US, my dad explained that my great grandma had petitioned for him and his brother to come to Hawaii. I was sad because my mom had to stay in the Philippines and I didn't want to leave her behind, and it made me cry at the airport. Moving to Hawaii wasn't easy. We had to travel to Manila to get our paperwork done. And my uncle and Tito took us like to Manila, and we stayed at my auntie's house for a few days, and saying goodbye was emotional. I'm grateful for all the opportunities and new skills I'm learning, and I hope to see this to make difference someday. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Adrian. Next up is Nakino Capelli, and we'll play his video as he comes on up. Let's welcome Nakino.
It's playing outside. When I was informed that I was coming here to Hawaii, I was a bit excited because I had to see my mother again. Yeah, she was here to she was here to like look after my grandfather because he has kidney problems. So she told us we should come to Hawaii and come to school here.
Hello everybody, my name is Nakino Capelle and I was born and raised in the Marshall Islands. My life back home was incredible. I was here kids playing outside and I hang out with my friends every day. I was informed I was moving to Hawaii when I was just 16 years old. I never told anyone I was coming. My life here in Hawaii is very different because I used to play outside all the time back home, and here I just stay at home and do my chores, and I play a lot of video games now. I hope I can graduate high school so I can help my family with paying bills. And here in Hawaii, it's not cheap, it's very expensive. And my dream and goal is to become a Marine or an Army. Thank you.
Nakino. All right, we have about 7 or 8 more students. Our third student coming up is Stage A Eladog. Let's all welcome Stage A.
Jeremiah, can we just have the screen go down a little so we can see the face of the students?
In the future, I want to be studying law and being able to become a lawyer someday is my dream. So I want to contribute to my community by helping the immigrants that's coming from Micronesia and making them feel welcome and to let them know that I'm on their side too.
You're ready.
My name is Stage A Eladov. I was born on an island in the Western Pacific Ocean called Pohnpei. We lived in a little town there called Colonial. Even though it is small, with only about 6,000 people, Colonia is the capital of Pohnpei State in the Federated State of Micronesia. FSM is an island country with 4 states. Yap, Kashrai, Pohnpei, where my father's family is from, and Chuuk, where my mother's family is from. So I am half Pohnpeian and half Chuukese. When I was in 5th grade, I took my first airplane trip. When I went to Kute Atoll in Chuuk State, where my mom is from, the reason for the trip was a family funeral. Since Micronesia is made of many small islands with huge ocean areas between them, it is not easy to travel from one place to another. To get to Chuuk, we had to fly to Warner, the main island to Chuuk, and then wait for a boat to take us to mom's family home on Kute Atoll. We made a similar trip for the same reason another time too. Before I graduated from 8th grade, my dad passed away. He was also an educator, like my grandpa. Before he died, Dad had been a principal of Pohnpei Catholic School. Then suddenly it was only me, my mom, and my dad's relatives at that time. My mom decided to come to Hawaii so she could get medical treatment. So just after my 8th grade graduation, we left Pohnpei. At the same time, I was sad and worried about losing my friends and giving up personal things like my favorite clothes that I left behind in Pohnpei. Before long, we arrived in Hawaii. That was June 8, 2022. But now my mom is getting better. In fact, she is fine now. She is going to college and working at the same time. Mom and I live in Waipahu, a neighborhood of Honolulu. My current dream is to become a lawyer someday so I can contribute to my community by helping other immigrants coming from Micronesia. And I would like to help them feel welcome as people welcomed me when I first came. I would like other Micronesians to know that I am on their side and maybe I can help them with their transition to a new country too. Thank you.
Thank you, Xavier is going to be the governor of Pohnpei someday, so you can say you met him way back when you were still in high school. Thank you, Stage. Our next student speaker today comes to us from Tonga. It's Malika Huahulu. Come on up, Malika.
Maloa Lele, my name is Milika Hoahulu. I was born and raised in the friendly island of Tonga. Back in Tonga, my life is very simple, and I had a lot of unforgettable memories with my families and my friends. And I moved here in 2019 when I was 12 years old.
Malalele, everyone. My name is Milika Hoahulu. I was born and raised in the friendly island of Tonga, and I moved here in 2019 with my family. The most challenging part about moving to Hawaii was dealing with the first day of the first month of school year because of the language barrier that I have between me and my classmate, because we don't speak the language, the same language. And I noticed that there was not a lot of Tongan student because there's like a lot of Marshallese and Filipinos. And as the times went by, I was able to learn English and understand my peers around me. And I was able to ask help from my teacher and be confident enough to speak in English. And hello, okay. I'm now a rising senior at Waipahu High School in the Academy of Health and Sciences. And I'm in the pathway of diagnostic and medical biotechnology services too. And I want to pursue a career in the healthcare where I can be able to help people who needs help, as well as sharing my knowledge of in the healthcare with my community in the Pacific. Thank you.
Thank you, Malika. That was awesome. Our next student comes to us from Chuuk and Pearl City High School. It's Keelan John. Let's all give Keelan a hand.
learn more new things in life. When I got in the airplane, I was nervous because I didn't know how to speak English, but I had my grandpa with me. So I was kind of chilling because my grandpa was with me. And once I walked in, I was like shocked the way I seen inside the plane, my very first time seeing inside the plane. I was really happy. And then once I got here, it was really loud inside the airport and there was a lot of people. It was crowded. And I was like, oh, wow, this is the US.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kaylin and I'm Chuukese. Fun fact, I actually attended Oʻahu High School for my freshman year and decided to move to Pro City High School up until now. So when I reached Hawaii, my first impression was really exciting, seeing the beautiful lights because in my homeland, there was no electricity or lights on the street. Here was very different from homeland. I didn't understand any of the English language when I got into school. I was nervous and scared if people or students would judge me or my ethnicity. But I was fortunate because I had friends that was Chuukese. He was a very helpful friend. He would take me the time to translate words by words to me in Chuukese language. I feel really confident in myself. He had helped me through my third grade year. I got confidence and I got to understand and speak the English language so fast because I had so many helpers. I am comparable here to the schools and jobs. It is a good pay for me and my family, but I want to go back home and help others with food and many more. Describing what it is for me when I first arrived was very nerve-wracking, but at the same time, I can feel the excitement in me. My eyes wide open seeing the beautiful island. When I arrived, it was in the middle of the night. The beautiful lights are shining, but once I got out of the airplane, it was crowded with other immigrants, or it was crowded. I was shocked to see so many people who had different languages from mine. It felt like I was living my dream, LOL. And there was so many things I remember, but I can't put in words. Thank you for listening.
Wow.
Thank you, Keelan. Our next student story comes from the Marshall Islands and Oʻahu High School. Please welcome Helen Labuan.
I was in the Marshall Island. I was born there. I live with my whole family, my grandparents, aunties, uncles, my parents. My grandmother, I live with her and it was great because she actually provided everything for us. Because she was one of the letters in the Radix Saints. In English we call it queen because she owns many of the islands in Radix Saints.
Where I live. My name is Ella Mabal. I was born and raised in the Marshall Islands. I live with my whole family, my grandparents, aunties, uncles, and my parents. Living there was great, but sometimes it got worse because there were a lot of people that were looking for a job and it was hard for them. There were less opportunity, the education was poor. They didn't really provide everything for the student. I live in Rita Village. It was a town full of loving and knowing people. We do activities once a week, like community activities. We go to every different kind of community to clean and provide them food. My life in the Marshall Islands was great because I live with my whole family. and my grandmother who supported me since I was little. When I immigrated to Hawaii when I was 14 years old. I was informed right after my 8th grade graduation. I went home and I saw my mom on the phone with my uncle. And I went and sit beside her, and my uncle said, "Go to Tonga na Hawaii imsugo." That means you're going to come to Hawaii to get an education. My contribution to my community here in Hawaii is by getting their needs first, leading them something that they might need, helping them and also participate in the services that they do. In my future, my goal for the future is to become a teacher one day. Because every time I'm with the kids, I'm very overwhelmed. I get along with them very easily because I got an experience because I babysit a lot. That's not the only reason why I want to become a teacher. I want to become a teacher also because I got inspired because of my teacher in Waipau High School. And also want to help my community by if the children in the community doesn't have really money to go to education, I could teach them for free or even encourage them to come to school and learn them with me. Kumakaga.
Well, no para Helen. Wants to be a teacher someday. You have a job at High School, you ever want one, Helen? All right, how's the sound out there for people online? Is it okay? Okay. All right, our next student storyteller is, she has an interesting story. She's lived in a lot of different places. And please welcome Sachi Lapitan. Come on up, Sachi.
I mean, life in the Philippines was really great. Yeah, so my family consists of 5 people. Me, my younger sister, my younger brother, my mom, and my dad. When I was a kid, we used to always play in the farm. We would always get dirty by the mud. We'd always swim in like the river and the beach like that. One day, I guess in 2020, yeah, like we received a call from my grandparents. They told me that I would be coming in Hawaii in 2020, but since it was COVID, I wasn't able to go. So I think it was 2021, then they called again.
Hi, hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Sachi. I was born in Saipan, but I was raised in the Philippines. In 2021, my grandparents called again and told me that in July 2022, they would come back to the Philippines for vacation, and they were going to take me home with them to study in Hawaii. They wanted to bring me to America because it had greater opportunities, and they wanted me to grab that opportunity while I was with them. So that's what happened. They came back to the Philippines with 2 large luggages and gave them to me to pack. When I was packing, they told me not to take too much clothes because I wouldn't need them. But I packed all my favorite shirts and jackets anyway. Finally, I left with them. However, my immediate opportunities are getting cut short because my grandparents are returning to the Philippines. They are getting old already and want to go back there for their retirement. I needed to go with them since we have no distant relatives. So I needed to go. It's okay though. My current plan is to finish high school back in the Philippines, and then maybe 2 years from now I plan to come back to Hawaii to go to college and study travel industry management and tourism. I plan to maybe work in a hotel and probably petition for either my dad or siblings to join here so they can get their US citizenship too. I already have my passport renewed, so I have a lot of time. Thank you.
Who knows, maybe one day you'll be back, Sachi. You never know. Okay, our next student storyteller is from Maduro, Marshall Islands. Her family's here with us tonight. Please welcome Marion Nelson.
Forward to moving here to Hawaii. However, I was also sad to leave the Marshall Island. But we moved here so that we can get better education and better healthcare system. I'll say I have to give up like having to leave my relatives and friends back at home. Coming here was a bit challenging since there's like
Yeah, guys, my name is Mary Nelson, and I was born in Majaro, Marshall Island. To continue what wasn't shown in the video, coming here was a bit challenging since it was hard to understand the language, but over time, I went to school and learned the language, so now I know a bit of it. Life back at home was pretty simple. I lived with my parents and my siblings. So in the future, I want to continue my education and pursue a degree in either business or medical field. I'm looking forward to participate in community activities and just being a good citizen. Thank you.
Marion, thank you. Thank you, Marion. That was awesome. Special shout out to Marion's brother Nelson, Lennon online. Hey, Lennon. I know you're out there. Our next student storyteller comes from the Philippines. Her name is Jenica Ronduin. Please welcome Jenica.
I was born in Vintor, Ilocos Norte, Philippines. I grew up with my grandparents, my aunties, and my uncles. My parents are working away home. My mom works in Cyprus, so that she can give us better education, better life, better future. I haven't seen my dad since I was 2 years old, and I didn't have memories with him. I didn't have like having plans together, and he didn't see us growing up. It
You got this, Jenica. Yes. We're all right here. We're right here with you. Take a deep breath first if you need to. Take a moment. And then when you're ready, you can unmute yourself. Jermal, can we unmute? One moment.
Could you please unmute?
I'm sorry, keep going.
In the future, I want to help my parents.
I want to be a cosmetology and a CNA. As of right now, I'm taking fashion design courses because I like fashion, clothes, and dresses. I want to take care of elders, just like my mom, because I love taking care of people. I remember my grandparents, they took care of me since I was little. My grandparents taught me how to live, and they were the best grandparents that I ever had. They were very protective, loving, and caring grandparents. They are special to me because I don't want to forget how they took care of us when we were still little and we grow up, until we grow up. They treated me like their own daughter. I felt comfortable and safe with them. I spent time with them every day. I always slept with them when I was still a little. And finally, now I am so happy and grateful to God because I am living with my whole family, with my mom, my stepdad, and my brother. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing your powerful story with us. Afterwards, you can watch the whole videos, are posted online, and all the students have very powerful stories to share. So I encourage you to check this out when you get a chance.
Accent, or a lot of people don't really know English, so I'm not alone. In the future, I want to be cosmetology. I want to do the hairstyling, and then I want to take business too, because in case like I have my own salon, and I want to make Hawaii feel safe, and volunteers who cleans up the beach, because a lot of tourists just shows up. This is where I live. I have to help them. Even though I'm not volunteering yet, I still do my best.
Okay.
Hello. Hey everyone, my name is Amber Tapales. I was born and raised in Antipolo, Rizal, the Philippines for 13 years of my life. So looking to the future, I have big dreams. I want to study cosmetology and business so I can open my own salon one day. I also want to give back to my community by volunteering to clean the beaches and making Hawaii a better place. My journey from the Philippines to Hawaii has taught me resilience and adaptability. I am determined to succeed and make my family proud, especially my mom, because she sacrificed a lot for me and didn't have her own chance. I want to pursue everything for her because she deserves everything. In this world, I just hope she knows I admire her a lot. Sorry. For being the best mom. She doesn't think I know, but I can see she's struggling, and I want her to know it will be okay. Mom, you're my mother and best friend at the same time. You're the kindest person, and you have sacrificed so much to me and my brothers. So after I have lived this wonderful life you have sacrificed for me to have, I want to come back in my next life as your mother. So I can be the one to take care of you. to tell you. That it's okay to choose yourself. It's not selfish. You deserve everything, and this time you can do whatever you want without worrying about everyone else. Thank you.
You did great. That was very good. Thank you, Amber. We have one last student storyteller. He comes to us from Pohnpei and Chuuk in Pearl City High School. His name is Itilyong Tilamar. Come on up, Itilyong.
I was born in Pohnpei State, but I grew up in a small island, Poloa. My life in that island was different from my life in Hawaii, because in our island we don't have like cars, stores, technologies. In that island they had only one school, only elementary. Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Hi everyone, my name is Etilyong Tilamar. I was born in Pohnpei, but my real home was the tiny island of Poloa where I was grown up. Looking to the future, I am hopeful. I want to finish high school and go to college. My dream is to study environmental science or marine biology, so I can go back to Poloa and help preserve our natural resources. I have seen how important sustainable practices are, and I want to contribute to my community future. My journey from a small island in Micronesia to the big island of Hawaii has been filled with challenges and changes. But through it all, I have grown and learned so much about myself and the world. I have become more adaptable, resilient, and ready to face whatever comes next. My story is not just about the place I have lived or the school I have attended. It's about the internal journey of growing, learning, and adaptation. It's a journey of a young boy from Poloa who dared to dream big and is work every day to make those dreams come true. I am excited about the future and ready to give out to the communities that have shaped me. My story is one of hope, preparation, and the belief that education can open door to a better future. Thank you.
Awesome. Good job. Good job. Wow, let's give all of our student storytellers a big round of applause for sharing their stories with us. There's a few more who couldn't join us tonight, but their stories will be posted after the event today too. So make sure you check them all out. There's 18 stories in total. And I'll pass it back over to Julie now.
Well, first of all, for those online, if you can just unmute yourself and like us to just hear our applause and cheers, like I welcome that space. So, those in person can hear us, that we're celebrating them.
Congratulations.
Woo! Yeah, great
Awesome.
job.
Powerful
Awesome.
stories.
Awesome.
So great. So proud.
So yeah, we are so delighted to let you know that the website with all this uploaded stories and bios, 300-word bios and essays is now live, and you can check it out. It's also searchable. So a lot of other universities and high school students are going to be using them to learn more about the various migrant and immigrant communities living in Hawaii. So thank you so much for your amazing gift of vulnerability, of bravery, of your lived experiences, so others can learn more about their neighbors and hear it from the person who's living that life, and not only from media and other sources that are usually one-sided or just share certain parts that are usually not about people themselves or individuals. So you've provided us such an incredible gift that, like we said earlier, there just aren't that many stories of students and young people from these communities, and this will be a very cherished, precious gift. So thank you again so much. You can see that despite preparation, despite recording the stories and working on the essay, saying it again out loud is not easy. Every immigrant, and I'm one of them, that has had to leave loved ones behind and start somewhere new, has gone through a lot of heartache. Yes, there are opportunities, but there's a lot of challenges, and being away from the family is probably the hardest one. So thank you again. Despite the fact that this is very hard, we really, really thank you for this incredible gift that the community will now have. Stories are so powerful, and that's what communities have, the stories. And that's what we have to fall back on to start building a different narrative, a narrative of, like you said yourself, wanting to give back, wanting to become teachers, wanting to help heal people, wanting to do ecological things or serve in the military. It's important people know what you've been through and what you aspire to be. So thank you again so much. And last but not least, every time we do a project, we highlight one partner that has really stood out, although all partners have been absolutely incredible, but one partner that has really stood out and has put so many hours. And I do have to say, the award for the Outstanding Community Partner on behalf of Green Card Voices tonight is going to go to Hawaii Pacific University, and the 9 students and Professor Jean. You have been so incredible and have volunteered 250 hours during a very, very busy semester. I tell you, this has been a roller coaster because we have waited for funding until very, very late. So the project was recorded pretty late in the semester, and students really gave it all. And we cannot thank you enough. You've put so many hours, not just being there for the recording and witnessing the recording and engaging with some of the students, and then transcribing everything word for word, and then ultimately meeting with the students and working on their essay and polishing the essay, and trying to finish school. A lot of them were also graduates. So Jean and I, we go way back. When we first met, I believe was 4 or 5 years ago, when Jean saw other Green Card Youth Voices books and was like, oh my gosh, this would be such an incredible project to do in Hawaii. And many years later, and the entire COVID pandemic in the middle of it all, we were able to circle back and get the partners and get the funding. So please accept this award from the bottom of our heart for your perseverance. And without your students and Jean, your ability to work with the students and support them, we really would not be able to complete this project on time. So thank you so much. And lastly, I want to say Jean is also part of the Hawaii TESOL. So those of you that are going to be attending next year, President's Day I believe February, we will be presenting this project and sharing it with TESOL teachers from the entire state of Hawaii and probably more. And we're very excited that other teachers will learn more about the project and start using the stories. Thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of the Green Card Voices team. We are going to continue working on getting additional funding and hopefully one day publish the book, which is usually what we do. But in the meantime, please stay well. Congratulations on finishing the school year. Enjoy the summer. Get some well-deserved rest. And again, thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone, and a really nice celebration. And I believe, Julie, are we going to do a group photo?
Yeah, so for those who are still on, I have folks from in person as well, and then I'm gonna make sure we have everyone also from. Just give a moment for everyone together. Okay, so it looks like some in person are coming in closer, but I can take some photos in this moment. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, smile, everyone. Wonderful, I got it. Feel free to unmute yourself, but again, thank you for your precious time and thank you for just witnessing such powerful stories that are local in your area, local in this world, and now it gets to be spread across the rest of the this globe for folks to listen and hear. So enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you again. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much. Take care. We don't want to leave, but sending you lots of love and care, everyone. All right. See. I was gonna say Taya, stay on, Aaliyah. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on for a sec.
I know that let me see.
Also, maybe stop recording. I can take everyone else out.
Did I? Okay.